Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of the MBN Network, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Track Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus. Join with people from around the world praying 15 minutes every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 667-770-1402, code 974-8029#. Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid. An examination of the Larry Reid Live show perspective. Purchase a copy today by logging on to LarryReidLive.com. That's LarryReidLive.com. Patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let me tell you why you should join. You will gain access to master level teaching and coaching, which includes Sunday morning prayer calls with Dr. Reid, Wednesday night breakdown with Dr. Reid, the prophets and care pastors, divine partnerships and networking with the like-minded community. Exclusive content, which includes daily posts, ranging in topics that are too expansive to share on Dr. Reid's public platform, including money, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, relationships, prophecy, prayer, and more. Become a member today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live today.
My name is Shantae Standback, and I am a patron of Dr. Reid's platform, LRL, on Patreon, as well as a member of Reformation Church of Atlanta. I started as a viewer. On Facebook Live. I was introduced to Dr. Reid as he was covering church in the pandemic. A friend of mine shared the video with me and was like, you have to watch this, because this particular episode that he was providing his commentary on hit home for me, as it was the family church that I grew up in. So it was from that moment, and I remember it was October of 2020. And it hit home for me because at that time it was the height of COVID. And although I was no longer a member of this church, I still had family members that were still pretty much, very much a part of it, 4 generations. So it was very emotional for me. But in all that I received from his comedic commentary, who knew that that would be the lure that God would use to pull me in. And that's how my journey started. So I started as a viewer, ended up becoming a patron, and now I am a member, as I stated. I had no idea that I still had so much, as he coins the term, church brain, that still needed to be uprooted. So what Reformation has done for me, what the LRL platform Patreon has done for me, has been transformational. I was so over church. And I know many have kind of shared and expressed the same thing in this community. But I was over church because I knew it just had to be something so much more to what life was. I saw it as oppressive, and what Dr. Reid has given to me and so many others in this community is experiencing the divine of who we are, the divine being of who God is, in a way that was so limiting from church. And so that is what Patreon, as well as being a part of Reformation Church of Atlanta, has done for me. But it was the lure of his Facebook Lives. And I'll be honest, there were times where I would cringe because my brain sometimes couldn't fathom some of the comedic ways in which he would present topics, but he presented topics that oftentimes the church wouldn't talk about. Things that were oppressive, astrology, sex, things that were often deemed as witchcraft or dark. but yet those are things that were taken from us, that suppressed us, that limit us. And so his teaching, the nuggets and his wisdom from his commentary has been so transformational for me, so life-changing. And so I offer anyone who finds themselves like at the crossroads of just like, it has to be more, like there has to be more than life. It is. It is. This community has helped me to embrace the mystical side of who I am, begin to understand that of what I was called to do, the divine being that I am, to walk boldly in who I am because of who Dr. Reid is and how freeing he is and how bold he is. It allows and has created those same sacred spaces for so many others. So, and that's been my testimony and my journey. I have changed in so many ways for the good in all aspects of my life, from emotional, spiritual, and financial. Let me tell you, that whole financial wellness plan is a game changer. It has been life-changing. That is who I am. Dr. Reid, thank you for your complete and total yes, and for all that you continue to do.
Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text LRL to 404-999-7527. That's the words LRL to 404-999-7527. And get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, then download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
We're about to have a conversation. Hello, everybody. We're about to get started. Go ahead and hit like and hit share. I saw them asking y'all in the chat. You're right, Kendall. I'm sorry. I was thinking we didn't change it. I've been asking you guys in the chat to go ahead and hit like and hit share. I'm going to ask that you do that. Just so you know, end of last year going into this year, and they even tightened it a whole lot more. What is the problem? What you mean? What's the problem? Well, just use the one at the bottom. Okay. All right. We so sorry. Was it sitting? It was sitting on top of my face. It was. All right. Welcome to Larry Live. We are about to get started. I'm going to ask each and every one of you to hit like and to hit share. Sorry about the little bit of glitch that we had. In the chat, go ahead and tell me what city and state that you're watching us from. I want to know who is watching because I do not trust Meta or Google. And like I was saying, end of last year, beginning of this year, they actually have tightened up during the summer. They have totally changed the way that you guys interact and the way I show up in your news feed. And so it's going to require that you go ahead and text me right now, or you will not know when I'm on live. Now, my postings each and every day, that is a big part of the show that we do live. You're not seeing them anymore. So you're going to have to make it a part of your habit online to come to the page, especially on Facebook, to see what's going on. IG is still being pretty good with us right now, but YouTube, they switch and change, and it's irritating. But I want you to know what's going on because there's so much that is happening the rest of this year and the first of next year. You know, at the first of the year, we always do those prophetic shows and broadcasts. Last year, we done the prophets, Prophet Manasseh, Prophet Lovey, Prophet Jordan, and it seems like we did another prophet. We always do that at the first of the year so that the prophets can peer into the future and tell us what the year is all about. If you're in my Patreon, then you know I think it was in 2020 when the Spirit literally took us into 2021, 2022, 2023, and we've been discussing 2024 and all the way to 2030 because there have been visions, there have been angels to show up and tell us about what is supposed to happen in the future in our government and our money, with our vehicles, our food, and it's just so much. So I want to invite you over to Patreon, patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. So you will be up to date with what the hell is going on in this here United Darn States where y'all live. I think I want dual citizenship. I think I'm gonna see if I can get some property over there in Africa. I know in Kenya and in Ghana and in South Africa, I think if you get some property and you keep it for over a year, then it's like automatically they go ahead and give you that thing. I think I would like to have that, so I have some deeper connection to the motherland. But today I am live to clarify some things that you have been seeing online. Look at that, Kendall, 1,888 people between Facebook, and I think that's confirmation. Every person that is up here right now, take a moment and donate to this platform. Look at all them different ways you can do that. Your $8.88, those of you really rich, $12.88, and those of you that's just billionaires, $88.88. You can donate to the MBN network, and we are 501c3 compliant, so you can put it on your taxes. Anything that you transact when it comes to the MBN network. I got people in my Patreon that do theirs annually, $144, and they write it off on their taxes because MBN network, you can do that. There's no other commentator online where you donate to them and you can't tell Uncle Sam them and Uncle Sam them be like, oh, you did? All right, yeah, you can put it up there. But see, the MBN network, Larry Live, sponsored by the MBN network, you can do that, and you can do it right now. All right, so let me go ahead and get into this story. Somebody said the chat comments are covering part of your face. Baby, I don't know what kind of device you on. That's something going on in that Android that you got. Now, I know that ain't no iPhone doing that to you like that. Those iPhones don't operate like that. They got good sense. And them Androids, no, you don't need to be fooling with that. Hello, everybody. Hey, my older sister is there. Look at what she said. She's talking about, well, what happened? They left away. Oh, my God. Y'all commenting so fast. My oldest sister, that's my oldest sister, y'all. You can remove that banner now. No, you can leave it now. My oldest sister is in the chat. And look what she said about her baby brother. Say, you look really good. Thank you so much, Nell. That's what we call her. Her name is Nevelyn, but we call her Nell. You know, in the South, every person in your family has about 3-4 names. We call her Nell, Nellie Bell, and something else. I think Daddy called her Melissa sometime by her middle name. Yeah. Yep, of course I'm going to bring the shade to I do not like Android. I don't like texting people that don't have Androids. That have Androids. I don't like it. All right, somebody said the volume is low. Say, is it me? Yes, it's you. It's her. Everybody can hear me well. Ain't nobody got no problem. Everybody can. Ray says, I have dual citizenship. Ain't you in Zurich? I think you're in Zurich, aren't you? You're a patron. I know you, Ray. You're in Zurich. How was that? They the black folk over there? I think you in Switzerland. How many black folk you run into in a week? You know, I went back home to, just recently, I went home. Nancy, me and you trying to do things at the same time. I can't stand this overlay. It's getting on my nerves. I went home the other day, and back home in North Carolina, they ain't a whole lot of us in the part I was in anyway. And I really started to feel like how the white folk be feeling when they go in the places where there's a whole lot of black people. Because a whole lot of white people, and I'm like, oh my God, look at all the white people. I was just so enamored. I took 30 minutes. We just had a whole discussion about how many white people was around. But here in Atlanta, ain't nothing but black folk. the city of Atlanta, not out there in them other parts, because that's when it get real white. And you start realizing that you're in a red state. But here in the city, it seems like it's just you in Africa. Ain't nothing but black. Wakanda, whole lot of black folk, driving nice, living nice, they owning the whole block, they owning all of the commercial buildings, and it's nice to see. It's really nice to see, and it's a little different when you go other places, and it's not like that. Oh, somebody said my volume just increased. Did it? You said the mic is covering my whole mouth. What, y'all want to see my mouth? I know these ladies, hold on. I know what they want to see. Let me give y'all what y'all want. I'm going to go ahead and give the women what they want. Ladies, y'all ready? You see my lips? Is that what you want to see? My lips? Are you happy? You see my lips? Complete or come? Or you complete? Or just to come? All right. I know that's what it is. You better not be sitting on your phone while I'm talking. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. That was Jeremy. That was Jeremy. It was not me. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this story, and just so everybody can be really clear about what is happening online, because I see the comment section, and I don't want you guys to turn it into something that is not. This is what is happening as relates to the celebrations that is going on all over the country. Now, if you follow me on IG, you see that the Freemans, by way of Tim Bowman and Kim Burrell, they just celebrated Bishop Carlton Pearson. The musical tribute was off the chain. The lights, the colors they used, they were all in those, because they would do them color block choirs at Azusa, red, blue, green, and they put all of that on, and they celebrated Bishop Carlton Pearson. I shared it on my platform, but it's really like 14 minutes. I only put 6 minutes on IG. I want you to go watch that in the comment section. Thank them for celebrating Bishop Carlton Pearson. And let me tell you why it's so powerful to see so many people over the last month all over the internet celebrate Bishop Carlton Pearson. Because Bishop Carlton Pearson is a reformer and a forerunner, a trailblazer. And so he went into some thought and some thinking and some teaching that at the time, over 20 years ago, your typical churchgoer was not ready to hear. And this is what he said. He said that I no longer believe in teaching and preaching hell the way that we have done in the church for all these years. And that made a lot of people nervous, a whole heap of people nervous, because he began to say in the Charisma magazine write-up, and I read it to you guys in his own words a couple of shows ago, where he began to say, okay, it's not that I'm saying there is no hell. What I'm saying is that it's not for the saints. And I fully understood what he said. Now, years ago when I heard him say it, I didn't have the brain that I have now, and neither did I have the education that I have now. And it just was something like, don't quite understand that. But I never threw away, disregarded Bishop Carlton Pearson. Where some people have an issue or inability to love unconditionally, honor, and respect someone or something or anyone that does not align with their faith practice. Something that Bishop Pearson will say whenever that conversation come up, he will say that particular person or persons just haven't matured in their love. When love has matured, love has an ability to put his arms around anyone and anything, no matter who and what and how they are. And this was the gospel that Bishop Carlton Pearson preached. It was the gospel of Jesus Christ that he decided to call the gospel of inclusion, because he began to look at the life of Jesus and how he moved around people that day. And Carlton Pearson became it in his person. Now, I always praise the character, the love aspect, the forgiveness aspect of my mentor, Bishop Bernard Jordan. But y'all know, Bishop Bernard Jordan, if you hit a certain thing, you're going to get Bernard from around the way. and just so happened, my spiritual brothers are here. His sons, his two youngest sons, I think, Manasseh and Aaron, they're here right now and visiting me. Manasseh can just wave at the camera. Hey. Yeah, we're visiting, they in the city. And he giggled when I said that. It's the truth. When you hit that button, it's all that grace, your grace stuff. You hit that button, you're going to get Bernard from around the corner. That's what you're going to get. Oh, man, I'm not making that up, am I, Manasseh?
No, you're not making that up.
It is very true. That's what you're going to get, And so in situations when Bishop feel a certain kind of way and he's being gracious, it's me and Manasseh that's going, da-da-da-da-da-da. He's an Aries, I'm an Aquarius. So that's a little different. But Bishop Carlton Pearson, and this is my hand to God. My mama hates when I say that because she said that's swearing. Well, oh hell, this my show, and you don't pay my bills no more. So, actually, I want my bills, you just fed me. My hand to God, I was raised by a very holy community. I mean, the holiest people you have ever met in your life. Loving, kind, and a whole heap of church mothers. Powerful, holy, clean, loving church mothers. And out of all of the people I have ever seen walk in the love of God, Bishop Carlton Pearson is the greatest expression of the unconditional love of God that I've ever seen. And I want you to think about the weight of what I'm saying. Come from a line of prophets, preachers, musicians, singers, saved people, raised from the dead, the people raised people from the open ears and eyes, and counting all them folk. Bishop Carlton Pearson is the greatest expression of the love of Jesus Christ that I've ever seen, ever experienced, ever. In every situation I've seen him, in situations where he should be mad, where he should get them back, when he should say, wait a minute, I know this about you and you've done this and you're vilifying and demonizing me because I say that God is love and I embrace everyone and I challenge some of the things that we have said to each other and some of the things that we have put in the book or someone put in the book, and we believe it literally, and we really don't look into the principle of the thing. We just take the Bible literally. This is the reason why they killed him. And I want to be very clear, and I said this before. Bishop Carlton Pearson was killed. I'm going to say it again. Just like Martin Luther King and so many other people who were reformers, who were assassinated and who were killed. Bishop Carlton Pearson was killed. And I think we need to wrap our mind around that because we're making it look like something that's not. Oh, he just developed cancer and passed. Not true. What happened was the way that he was rejected, the way that he was vilified, abandoned by his friends and stabbed in the back through media. The very next year, it was almost at 2 years, he developed cancer. So 2002, they called him the College of Bishops, 2 or 3. They called him. He thought he was going to talk about this revelation he started to unfold in 1997. He was already preaching at high dimensions at his church. And then they said, come, you're talking this, come over here. And when he got there, it's still on YouTube. It was a thing. If you watch the movie Come Sunday, they showed how that went. And then people, a few have already begun to leave, but then people begin to leave in droves. And you go from a mega church, tens of thousands of people, eventually down to a few hundred, and then down to nothing because you can't keep the building anymore. And the people who from that place you launched their ministries, all of your black friends who were Pentecostal charismatic. Now, mind you, Carlton is sitting between the blacks and the whites in Pentecost, and he's bringing all of the black energy, black talent, black spirit, and introducing it into the white, charismatic, evangelical world, which was controlling the cameras, controlling the narrative of the gospel in America. But at this point, after Catherine Coleman, A.A. Allen, Simpleton, all these different people, Christianity, Pentecostalism, and the charismatic movement was dying. And this was the man that God used to resuscitate the church in the West, in America, Carlton Pearson, to bring Africa into white evangelism. And our quickenings, the way we shout, the way our preachers preach and prophesy, and the spirit in our voice and that aggression we put in our vocal cords that just cause a frenzy in your transcendent experience, that was introduced to the world through Carlton Pearson by way of TBN and so many other platforms that came out of that, Daystar and all the competitors, Inspiration Network. This man did that single-handedly, and he did it selflessly. He did not charge people to be on his stage. He did not make folk, jump through this and that. He listened to the Spirit. He looked at what you did and followed his heart. And now we have Joyce Myers, a household name. That was Carlton Pearson. Michael Pitts, who was able to build a great church and build a great ministry. He did that. Miles Monroe, that was a household name. Carlton Pearson, he'd done that. Bishop T.D. Jakes, Carlton Pearson, he platformed him on purpose twice and blew him up, who ended up being the person that took Carlton Pearson's place as relates to the evangelicals. Because when it comes to the black church now, the whole world thinks Bishop T.D. Jakes. Thank you, Carlton Pearson, for giving Bishop T.D. Jakes that mantle after they killed you in the media. And then there was another function that Carlton Pearson had in the black church, and that he was known as the fixer. That means if you get into some mess, Carlton Pearson is going to show up, stand with you, sit with you, help you hold your church so your church don't lose finances, you don't lose your salary, and sit with you in that and help rehabilitate you. He was known as that. When they killed him, Jakes becomes the darling, the dark darling of the white evangelicals. And then George Bloomer becomes the fixer. The part that these people played in his death has never been repented for. Never. And I want you to hear what I'm saying. Nobody repented. And no one said, I am sorry. Not the College of Bishops. Never said I'm sorry. Not Bishop T.D. Jakes. Never said I'm sorry. These people, and the list goes on and on and on and on, they hurt Carlton. If you watch this show, every single time it came up, his soul cried. And it was a deep cry that moved his whole body, that anybody with a heart could feel. He never got over it. He just went on. This caused him to develop cancer. Had the surgery, cut it out. He continued to live. But he was still sick without knowing it. There was something underlying and still happening. And then 3 years ago, he developed a UTI. And this UTI he kept for 3 years. And 3 months prior to his passing, he could not defecate or do normal number one. And his bladder was holding liters of urine. And his body was holding pounds of filth. And that gave him sepsis. And that happened right before my conference he come to every year. And when that happened, he felt the pain. He said, let me go to the doctor. He texted me, said, like, I got to run to the doctor, but I'm still coming. I'm be a little late. And then later on, I got a text where he said, they inspected, found out I have cancer again. I don't know what I'm going to do. Don't tell nobody. Keep it hush-hush. God is able. And ladies and gentlemen, on his transition bed, I'm not going to call it a deathbed, is when he began to understand how the rejection of his peers and the church that Carlton built. I want y'all to put in the chat the church that Carlton built. And I want to be very clear that the church that we were all in love with, that made so many black preachers millionaires, could not have happened if Carlton did not show them that we were not beasts, that we were not barbarians, that we had class with our tongues, we had class with our quickening and our dancing, and we had an education. That was Carlton. On his bed, he said this. He said they told him, I think he called names. He said that we don't embrace them. He said, but we embrace you. And he used that to the glory of God and to blackness in America, in the Pentecostal church. We have to keep that narrative alive, and we have to honor it, or we dishonor our own existence. And there's so many things in that interview. I can't wait to share that interview, but I want to share this piece with you and then explain for you why Bishop Yvette Flunder has just released a public statement disapproving of the celebrations in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Because some people are like, well, why? And they're close friends. Why isn't she going to be there? Well, you're going to understand right now. You want your transition celebration to be? Have you had that discussion with everybody? How do you want that to be?
Well, I'm not real braggadocious, never have been in my life, but this one, I want it slamming.
We're going to slam it. We're going to slam it.
What does that mean?
I want 100-voice choir, 200, I don't care. I want to show, because a lot of other worldly people will come, I want to see the excellence of what we are, what we do under the anointing with class, with the singing, whether that's Leandria Johnson singing or Ricky Dillard's choir or I don't know if I'll have time, but if some of the top people come and sing, and Yvette will say something. She's one of the few. And because I want to show diversity, and I don't want a bunch of big name guys that we sent out. I just don't want them on the video. Speaking live in the service. You guys who've stood with me are the ones I want to be heard and see. Not just guys that want to get on the stage, because they're going to be, who knows will come, what people will come. And but I don't want it to be that kind of thing. And the service itself should be a eulogy, but I want a good, meaningful video done. I told Michael that already. He's got stuff from all my appearances on all the secular shows and ABC 2020. I don't just want my life to be about Azusa. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yeah. That's where the work started.
That's not all I brought to the table. Oral used to always say success without successor is failure. I've always said, when I heard him say that, that success without succession is failure. Because he was thinking about Richard. I would have been thinking about my son, you think about Richard, that's normal. But it's succession. This is succession.
In his own voice, we hear what he say he wanted. And I repeat. He said, I want a 1 to 200 voice choir. He said, I want those that stuck with me to be heard and seen. That's what he said. He said, I want diversity. He said, I want a good, meaningful video. I don't want it to be just about Azusa because I did more than that. He said, I want some of the top artists. He said, Ricky Dillard, Leandria. And we couldn't make out what he was saying, but he said, I don't know whether or not I'm going to have Tamala. And it's funny, she's the last person for us to confirm. So it's so prophetic and profound. He had to know. And then he was telling those of us in the room. And it's almost like he knew that there was going to be some issue in celebrating his life because he had ministered to two different groups of people. And they needed to come together in order to honor him. This man had to know. He also said Bishop Yvette Flunder will say something. She'll be one of the few. Out of his bishop friends. He said that he didn't want anybody else. He said those big guys, he said they can be in the video, but I don't want them to say nothing in the service. You can't get more specific. And if you love Carlton, last will and testament, we're going to give you what you want. But that's not the case. Let me tell you what happened. What happened was there was a paperwork issue that created a huge financial strain on his family, particularly Julian, Majesty, and of course his former wife, who had moved back into the house to help take care of his mom that's 90-something years old that was living in the house, but it ended up being her helping taking care of him. And now the mom stays with his sister Monica. And this financial strain, there had to be a hero. And allegedly, apparently, and clearly, and that's what happened, Majesty, knowing this, they were trying to figure it out. Mike Todd and that's my ministry. Mike Todd and Transformation Church heard about this. And they jumped in as a savior to clear all of the financial strain that the family was left with. And I want us to celebrate that. That needs to be celebrated. Now, had anybody reached out to me, Bloomer, Jordan, Manasseh sitting over there, millionaire, this would have been cleared and done like this. But for whatever reason, things happened the way that they did. And I'm glad that they did for several reasons. So Mike Todd and Transformation Church showed up, told Bishop, we're going to cover everything, even your home, so your family. He had just bought a new house. We're going to clear that so they will be okay. I think it's wonderful. I think it's a great thing because Carlton deserves it. Carlton does deserve it. And I believe Mike Todd and Transformation Church needed to do this as a penitence offering. Let me explain why. When Carlton went into inclusion, that I like to call the revelation of the love of God, Mike Todd's family left and followed the McIntoshes. At the time, the name of the church was called something else, but it ended up being Transformation Church. And after building it, trying to get it to the next level, eventually Mike Todd, took over Transformation Church, and now it's this huge church in Tulsa. So being that they left him and joined with a group of people who raised question marks over his head, his ministry, his integrity, his walk with God, him being saved, I think they needed this opportunity to clear their conscience. Maybe they don't even look at it like that. I'm telling you what I think. But then after he passed, these other stipulations came with them covering all this stuff. Now, I do not know if they're saying, well, if you don't do this, then we ain't going to cover it. But I do know that they said, this is the way it's going to go. And they said, no progressive theology leader can say anything at the funeral. That's number one. No one can say the word inclusion at the funeral. And certainly not Bishop Yvette Flunder. Not only can she not eulogize him, because they were trying to have someone to do a eulogy, but she can't stand and give words at the funeral. Well, I didn't know any of this stuff, but later on it got to me. And I was feeling a certain kind of way because I'm like, wait, either you come in and fund Carlton Pearson's last will and testament and take care of his family, or you don't. But by this time, it's already done and Carlton's gone. So I'm sitting there like, what in the world? How? And me and others, I'm not going to put them in this, are discussing it. And we're just like, I can't believe this is happening. So, but I'm just going on with my life. And I think after I'd done one of the lives, it just hit my heart. And I went back to the video and I dissected the video I just played for you. And it's as if Carlton was obligating those of us in that room to make sure that his vision for his funeral is carried out. And just to let y'all know about this, I and Bishop Jordan was not even supposed to be there. Carlton called and made us come. But let me tell you why. I said, well, you're his friend, why not come? You know, when death happens, grief comes and visits a family. When it visits you, any unresolved issue, unfinished business that sits in you, any trauma, grief brings it up. So there was a lot going on, and we just didn't want to get involved. But Carlton said, y'all get here now. His exact wording was ASAP. He said, I need to talk to you, and there's some stuff I need to say on camera. This is Carlton now. That I need to say on camera, Larry, and I only want to do it with you. You'll see him say that in the live when I play the interview. And had that not happened, the 6+ figures that I'm having to utilize in order to do this, I will be keeping in my pocket and ministry because it's Christmas. It's Christmas. And payroll due at that time when we're having this celebration on the 18th. You know, so, but it's like he knew that there will be an issue with celebrating him between the two bodies of people that loved him. And from his bed of transition, he created a plan. And now we're carrying it out. So when Bishop Flunder found out about this, she was devastated for several different reasons. This is her friend. This is someone her heart is in love with. My heart is in love with Carlton. I said that last live and I got some emails. I don't care what the hell y'all think. We was not frickin'. And Carlton liked women. In fact, he was madly in love with Gina and she left and divorced him. And we were like, man, let it go. She gone. And he's still in love with her, not moving on. Here, Bishop Flunder is hearing this and going through the grief of the loss of someone her heart is knitted to, and then all of this comes up. What to do? At the same time, I'm getting a call in my heart to put on the event. If I hadn't put on the event, she wouldn't have anywhere. And a whole community, several different communities, faith leaders, wouldn't have anywhere to go and celebrate Carlton Pearson the way he wanted it to be done and say beautiful words about him. But really because of Carlton Pearson being so wise in the way that he articulated what he wanted and who he was talking to in the room, all of us who loved him, it really put everything in place. So we're now on December the 18th here in Atlanta. We're going to be celebrating him. The Black Hollywood itself, executives, actors, artists, gospel and secular are coming together in Atlanta to celebrate him. People are donating to help me, so I don't have to take it all out of my pocket, to help me fund this. The first one was Bishop Yvette Flunder, who sent $10,000. D.E. Polk and his group of pastors, they're going to be doing the same thing. I've heard from some people who are funding, and my patrons. And I want y'all to take a moment to celebrate the patrons. Because if it wasn't for the patrons and the members of Reformation Church of Atlanta, not only would this platform not exist, but I wouldn't be able to do this event. I wouldn't be able to take it on. We had people to donate Sunday in our worship service. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to this event. Not to our budget that we've got regularly, but to the success of this event. And we've actually heard from some sponsors, and I ain't calling their name until I get the check, but there's some sponsors, and they're going to be in the obituary, which is really like a celebration booklet. And every person that donated significantly is going to be listed in that book that we will have in forever. So today, Bishop Yvette Flunder, was it last night? She took to the internet and she penned a letter. And this is what she said. From the office of presiding prelate, she said, "Dear beloved, with honor, integrity, a clear sense of grace that rests on our lives, the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries, TFAM, along with our presiding prelate, Bishop Reverend Dr. Yvette A. Flunder, are not participating in the celebration of life for Bishop Carlton Pearson hosted in Tulsa. In keeping with our understanding of his wishes, we will not sanction a ceremony that will dishonor Bishop Pearson's life and legacy and subject his colleagues to being belittled and silenced. In an effort to do some version of what Bishop Carlton Pearson said he wanted, there's some things that they're going to do, but what he asked for will not be done. Hats off to Julian, his son, because he pushed for certain things to be a part of the ceremony, because he was sitting 6 feet from me when his daddy said all this. And he knows what his dad wanted. But the situation that the family is in financially, where we're in at the moment, and still are in at the moment. And you have Mike Todd and Transformation and McIntosh. Remember, McIntosh is the man that left and started the church. He's the one that split the church. And he turned it over to Mike Todd. He's a white man. Turned it over to a black man. Because you know, in Tulsa, Carlton, black men with a mega church. So Tulsa have this energy in it to where they will rally around a black leader. They will. And that strategy, they put Todd there, and he's talented, looks pretty good, teaches okay, charismatic. I say okay, no. I mean, because the world like that kind of stuff you do. I don't, but they like it, and that's no hate. You already know on this platform, I can't get with folk teaching and preaching. I just can't. I don't need for you to do no acting. I don't need no props on stage. And these pastors now, and Brian Meadows do the same thing. God bless you, but I would just be like, but what you can't come out of the mountain with God, stand here and teach and preach. That's what I like. I don't need all that. I don't need all that. But so McIntosh, really the reality is, and I'm going to Tulsa. I hope nobody will be mad with me. And don't make a mistake and try to fight me. That is a mistake. I was raised in the country. I have never lost the fight. And then the niggas that's coming with me, you're going to get your ass whooped. And but I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. And then the fans are around. They're going to jump in and you can go to the hospital. But I'm just saying, for me, McIntosh is the one running this behind the scene. With Mike Todd, him and T.D. Jakes is like this. They think I don't know, but now I'm telling it. Is listening to T.D. Jakes on how to handle this from a brand standpoint, because, Mike Todd got in trouble all year long with these viral videos. One viral video that was saying he was supporting gay rights. So that's the biggest reason why Yvette Flunder can't say nothing in this church. It ain't got nothing to do with inclusion. But that's what they saying. If stupid people want to believe that, y'all go ahead. Us over here on Smart, we know what the hell is up. Number 2 is that video he done. Number 2 is the other video with the spitting and the smearing. Now, I remember when this happened because I'm partly responsible, mainly, for it going viral. And me and Carlton had a conversation. When he heard about it, he called me immediately. He said, oh my God, that's a family I love. Oh, they're not used to handling media stuff. Oh my God, I know they're so hurt. He called Mike, went there to his church, showed up, and a picture was posted online. And that's really when I think Mike began to see who Carlton was. He showed up for him, even when they didn't show up for Carlton. So the people that were not there for him because they don't know how to love people that believe and are different than their conviction, that's an immature love. Because they can't do what Jesus did, they don't know how to celebrate him and give him what he wants. It's unfortunate, but it will be worse if they didn't celebrate him at all. So although we're saying what we're saying here, we will be killing them if they did not celebrate him at all, because if he was not, they never could have been. So I'm excited that they are celebrating him. It's unfortunate they're not doing it the way that he asked. But if they love him and honor him by doing this and they're okay with that, I am too. However, December the 18th, It's just what Carlton said. Now, I was telling that guy, I mentioned the D.E. Pope, Mike Williams. These are people who walk with him. Bishop Joy and Bishop Flunder. I said, there's so many gospel artists coming who want to perform. I said, but that ain't who Bishop said that he wanted to perform. I want to just stick with what Bishop said. And then when I went back and listened to it, he said, some of the top artists. I said, oh, so he's okay with other artists more than the ones he named. So John P. Key is coming to flatten the house and give us what John P. Key do. And then David Smith, who was responsible for doing all this Azusa music, they're already, Bishop said 100 to 200 voice choir. Well, David is doing a 100 voice choir at the funeral to do some things from Azusa. But when I first dropped the link for people to be a part of the choir, over 100 people signed up just like that. So this choir is going to be 200 or more probably in Atlanta, Georgia. I got a phone call from so many people that's going to be there. I name a couple. Yolanda Adams, Phaedra Parks called me. Y'all don't know Phaedra, church girl. She said, what time is it? Oh, save my seat. She said, I got to do a show in New York that morning, but I'll be there since it's 5 o'clock. It's so many people that's going to be there. And Michelle Williams. It's people from Hollywood, people here locally, the mayor here, the White House is sending a representative. I think they'll have a White House representative in Tulsa as well. But I'm looking at it like this. However you want to celebrate, celebrate. Honor him. At this point, this is why after T.D. Jakes wrote that letter that he wrote, that did have a comment in there I ain't like, because you know, if you're going to honor somebody, don't come telling me tomorrow we went 2 different paths. See, I told you, stop that. We know y'all went 2 different paths. Look at your bellies and look at Carlton. You eat up everything you see. Eating through life. Carlton didn't do that. So we know you went 2 paths. You went grazing like a big old cow. That's a little joke. I'm just playing. But anyway, but I told y'all in there, don't be doing that, posting all the salutations to Carlton. Then y'all saying the thing that killed him. Y'all broke his heart. Carlton died not just of cancer, but of I'm going to say transition out by way of cancer. But it was a broken heart. And we don't need any mention. I hope they don't do that at that funeral, because then y'all going to have me pulling me out. Come be showing my whole black ass. But for real, honestly, I'm glad that they're celebrating him. And we are going to be celebrating him as well. So listen now. When Larry Reid Live MBN Network does an event, it's only for our patrons to watch online. I know this is Carlton Pearson. I know blah, blah, blah. But y'all niggas ain't paying for it. It's me, Flunder, Polk, Jordan's going to throw in. There's a Jordan sitting over there. We got, and the patrons. So I can't piss on my members and support system to make y'all happy. And I will never air anything live free for consumption that the patrons have paid for. It's just not going to happen. I ain't ever did it. The only thing I release out here free is Larry Live, Reading Things My Way. And to tell you the truth, the first season of Reading Things My Way was behind a paywall. So y'all didn't even see that free. But in the second season, we started doing it out here free. I just don't do that. I can say that I can't afford to do that. It's exclusive, it's elite. But coming to the event, register free and come to the event and enjoy in-person live all of these talents. And I know that we're going to be feeling his spirit there. I know that God is going to fill up the room. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be impactful. I've talked to and interviewed with I don't know how many outlets over the last 48 hours, me, D.E. Polk, and others. And this is going to be a great celebration of his life. And I want you to come. But if you cannot come, you can support and support financially. How? By signing up to Patreon. I know it ain't but $12. And I know if 1,000 of you do it, it ain't but $12,000. I don't know if that can cover what that can cover. But that ain't the point. The point is that you are honoring. And listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot honor separate from money. I don't know what they teach y'all like that. That's why it's part of my financial wellness plan in Patreon, that when we give the teruma, when we give the tithe, we also give to our mom and dad if they're alive. Because the Bible says to honor your mother and father all the days of your life. So every single time, 3.333% of everything I make goes to my mom and daddy. And you need to stop honoring with your lips, and then your money ain't ministering that honor. So if you want to honor, you can't come to Tulsa, you can't come to Atlanta, then you can sign up to Patreon and you will be able to honor monetarily Bishop Carlton Pearson. And don't look at it as just $12. My $12 ain't gonna make no difference. It's the honor aspect. Patreon, patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Now, don't sign up until after the 1st, unless you just want to be a part of my community and see what it's all about. Sign up after the 1st. As soon as you sign up, it's $12. Then after you watch on the 18th, you can counsel. But don't you forget the counseling. And then be calling my office fussing. Take care of your own business. You coming over there to do the $12, the honor Carlton, and the watch live. Because publicly, we only going to put up little tiny clips after it's all over a few days later. So the public will not. Now, Tulsa now, they're going to be streaming live all of the events going on there. That's great for them. I don't do that shit. So that's just how they know. So I don't care what y'all say about me out there on the streets about a money grab. If 2,000, 3,000 you signed up, that still ain't more money than I probably got on. Yeah, I can tell you, it ain't more money than I got on, because this right here is $100,000. So don't even do that money grab shit, because I'm rich. All right? Okay, let me look and see here what's been said in the chat. I'm through, y'all. I ain't got nothing else to do. But is it clear now? So I need all of y'all, whenever you see somebody talking sideways, to tell them the truth, because they don't watch. They don't know what happened. They 3,000, almost 4,000 you was watching when I looked up last time. Now it's 3,731 between YouTube and Facebook together. I need for you guys to tell everybody the truth. I'm going to put the clip up on IG where Carlton the one I played in here, I'm going to put it on IG and on YouTube by itself, so everybody can see that what we're doing in Atlanta is what he asked for. What they're doing in Tulsa is the way that they want to honor him. I don't think it should. Oh my God, who did that? Tyrese report done $200 sewing in memory of Bishop Pearson. Because everything that Google pays that out. Now, 30% of that we won't get. But $170, we will get that. And Google will pay that out to us in about 20-something days. What's that? Yeah, about this time next month, they'll pay it out. Thank you so much, Thais, excuse me. Oh, let me do this. Because there was some point that people want to support. This is the way that you can donate to the ministry tax deductible. Where's that? Here we go. Right here. Here we go. Move the thing, Nancy, so they can see the mail thing. All right. So this is the way, and a lot of the senior saints always sends their money orders through the mail. You can go right now to LarryReidLive.com and click donate. That's through PayPal. And make sure you put your phone number in the memo section because we like to call you and say thank you, and then one of the prophets is going to prophesy to you. 7 go have we none, but such we have. We're going to give it unto you. Okay? Now remove that and put everything else back up down. All right. So I know the other people, if you follow Larry Live, you know I keep it honest and tell y'all everything. I keep it transparent. And if you're in Patreon, I'm probably too transparent. Y'all just about know when I got gas. But I share everything over there in Patreon, but out here I'm still pretty transparent. So I want you guys, put their link for them to register. It's free. Just fly, drive there. Long as you register, you can get in the door. Let me explain something, because y'all know nothing about Larry Light events. If you come to the Gas South Arena on December the 18th, start at 5, doors open 3:30, I think. If you come there and you are not registered, I don't care who you are, you're not getting in. When you walk in the rest, you're going to get a ribbon. If you don't keep that on your wrist, you go out to pee, you're going to be stuck outside. Because I always have that in line, and it's white people. You know, white people like to be assholes. Karens and Kens is going to be manning them doors. It's a company we hire. Going to be manning them doors, and you ain't getting in. It just is not going to happen. And you better keep that ribbon round about your arm. When you go out to go use the bathroom, come back, because that ribbon is not on. You're not getting back in there. It's just not going to happen. Go ahead and tell you. And we're going to have photography, a step and repeat, red carpet. I want you to take pictures. I want you to post it online and say something beautiful about Carlton. Now, somebody asked me, did Carlton see all of the love online before he passed? Yes, he did. And you need to feel really good about that. He needed to get all that massive love energy from as many people as possible. So you can feel really happy about that, because he did see it. All right? And hell, if we don't know if he can see it from the other side, what you're doing now. We ain't nobody been over there and came back and told us shit. So we don't even know. We don't even know. Look, Manasseh's over there giggling at me. So make sure y'all register, because if you come through I'm go ahead and tell you, we got police and security. We have one layer of security that we hired, but then because God loves us so good, we got plenty of armed police officers. Yeah. And then my folk that be with me have guns too. So if you don't register and try to get in, or you ain't got that ribbon on, we're going to think you trying to kill us. So we're going to kill you first. So make sure you do what you're supposed. You better follow directions. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do. Oh, the funeral in Tulsa is December the 1st at noon at Transformation Church. All right? Okay. Have I missed anything? If not, I'm about to go. I covered everything. But I'm not handling the Tulsa thing. That's them. But Julian keeps me pretty up to date with what's going on. Yes. Great question. Queen Ruler said, Larry, can I bring the money I'm giving in person at the service? I'm already registered. Yes. I forgot that part. And let me tell you what we're doing other than paying for the event. I'm so glad I've just thought to say this. Other than paying for the event, I am putting money in the hand of the family members. I want them to see when they receive that check, they're not just going to think about the amount. They're going to think about why they got it. And they got it because they were the family member of a king. And sometimes when they're kings and families, their family don't see them the way that we see them. We got a revelation of their family member, so we followed and committed our money and time. But that's just Carlton to them. But when they receive that check, they're going to see that Carlton is taking care of them from the other side through the people that he ministered to. And so I want to do that. So yes, please do that. I explained the financial hardship that the families face. Somebody said to me, well, why the family let them do that? These people wanted to honor him, and then they're also showing up financially. It's in the best interest of the family to let them do that. And family, if they don't do what they say they're going to do, call me. Please. Please call me. Because then I'm going to let Jeremy handle everything from there on. That's how that'll go. All right. Let me see. Kenna, why are you clicking Ryan for? No, the body will not be in the Atlanta celebration. I'm sure if I asked and wanted that. Well, let me tell y'all this. Carlton did not want his body viewed at all. Let me say it again. I know they have him lying in state for 159 hours, but that's not what he wanted. So we ain't doing that. We got three big, huge screens across there, and it's going to be Carlton everywhere you turn. Carlton says, one sin I'm guilty of is the sin of looking good. And I don't, just in case I don't look right, I don't want nobody to see me like that. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. I done told them something happened to me, burn me up, make some ashes, put it in a locket, give it to my children, best friends, close friends, and put a picture up, and y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Okay? No, you shared that with us in Patreon. Yeah, it's slipping up out of my mouth, but I'm gonna tell y'all the rest. I'm keeping it real. What they say? What the gays say? Keep it cute. I'm keeping it real cute, but I'll tell y'all the other part later. Oh, rehearsal for the choir. You're gonna get that in your email. It's the day before at night at a church in Atlanta. David Smith is gonna be doing all that. You're gonna get all that information. It's gonna come through the email you signed up through. All that information gonna be coming. Okay. So why they're allowing the viewing if they ain't want it? If he didn't want it, I think that's pretty clear. The same reason why they're doing the funeral the way he don't want it. They paying for it, so they do what the hell they want to do and just sprinkle a little what Carlton and the family want. Let me see. Will this celebration be live streamed? Oh, Lord. It will be live streamed for the patrons of this platform who paid for it. Let me see. You asked for a good check and money order. They will be getting it. Probably best to give them a money order, ain't it? That protects our account information on it. I think we better do that now. I can't. So Larry, make sure the family don't sign anything that those evil people can or will steal his property from his family. I thought about that. I don't have any way to overwatch that. And I only know what Julian lets me know. Are we having Patreon service tonight? I don't want to get into that energy. I'm going to tell y'all everything after this weekend. I'll tell everything in Patreon. You know what? I can commit to that. The whole tell-all thing I was going to do, I'm not going to do it publicly. Because I don't want to take away from Carlton's honor. So I'll do it in Patreon, where we just know. Who's catering the repast? I don't know. But I know a good place in Tulsa last time I was there. Can the program be made PDF? I'll pay. If you are in Patreon, you're going to get the program. Yeah. All right. It's going to be posted in Patreon as a PDF for you to download. These are great questions. There you go. I love that organically, Shanae. Tulsa going to be a funeral. ATL is going to be a homegoing. There's a difference. I like that. So Reverend Dr. Stephanie Jones Ramsey said, my God, and he was blessed with good looks. He said that's his only sin, the sin of looking good. Oh, my God. Yes, Pisces will let you use and abuse them over and over. You put it in a nice way, but let me tell you, that's what they do. Oh, they're loyal to a fault. Okay, Queen B, you're correct. In my opinion, they are doing the same thing they did to him in death that they did in life. I agree with that. Ooh, child, y'all ears don't work or something. Girl, that's the same thing I just said. Yes, Jeremy's coming out after the funeral, but only in Patreon. I'm so glad that came to my mind to do. Because that way I can dump it all out and get it off my mind. Thank you, Marcus Adams, for letting them know. Sowing into Larry's Patreon is sowing in great ground. If you want to be wealthy in 2024 and overflow abundance, that's the place to go. It's true. They can testify in the chat. Can't make it up. Because I teach people how to do money magic. And we call it that in Patreon. We're not scared of the word. And it works. It's no fail. No failure to it. Let me see what's on. Where do we give to Bishop Pearson's family? I know his son has a Cash App. I don't know what's happening now. I don't know after he died what happened to all that. So let's wait until I can get from the family. 'Cause I don't know if he still send it to that Cash App. How do you join Patreon? You probably just came in. That's what I'm going to believe. patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Thank you. I did pretty good. I ain't cut up too bad, did I? Thank you. All right. I have friends here. Manasseh, is there anything you want to say? He's saying no. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. Thank y'all. See you. And this is the way you can sign up for Patreon for the young lady that asked. It's at the bottom of the screen there. But you know what? I'll do one better. I'll play you the video so you can know exactly how to sign up and it'll show you step by step, okay? I love all of y'all. See you.
Patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let me tell you why you should join. You will gain access to master level teaching and coaching, which includes Sunday morning prayer calls with Dr. Reid, Wednesday night breakdown with Dr. Reid, the prophets and care pastors, divine partnerships and networking with a like-minded community, exclusive content, which includes daily posts ranging in topics that are too expansive to share on Dr. Reid's public platform, including money, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, relationships, prophecy, prayer, and more. Become a member today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live today.